Good evening, everyone. We're ready to begin this evening's board meeting. Sergeant at Arms, has the front lobby been attended to? Yes. Thank you, Chief. We request that all electronic devices be turned off or put in silent mode. Also, please refrain from using flash photography except during the special presentations portion of the meeting. I am pleased to welcome you to the April 8th, 2025 school board meeting. The time is 6 p.m. and the meeting is hereby called to order. At this moment, we're going to take a brief recess to allow the performance to continue. We'll reconvene in approximately 10 minutes. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're coming out of recess. The time is 6:10 p.m. Thank you for everyone's patience. Prior to tonight's meeting, you've had the pleasure of enjoying performance by the amazing Veterans Park Academy for the Arts Wind Ensemble. This talented group of students is directed by Tom Froenschuh. The ensemble is committed to excellence in the band world, and for the first time in over a decade, completed all the Florida Band Masters Association Music Performance Assessment earlier this year. We truly appreciate their dedication to the musical arts. Please give this group a round of applause. So we're going to give them a moment to clear the area. Thank you, everyone. You were great. Okay, thank you, everyone. Board member persons will be participating via Zoom pursuant to Board Policy 0164.1. He is eligible to vote on items during tonight's action meeting. I was told that Mr. Persons is currently online. Mr. Persons, can you hear us?
Yeah, yes, I can.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Well, we'd like to take this opportunity to remind the members of the public of the district's mission, which is to ensure each student achieves his or her highest personal potential and the district vision to be a world-class school system. This evening's agenda includes invocation, presentation of colors and pledge of allegiance, acknowledgments, recognitions, public comment, consent action items, which include 2 items under board office, 2 items under executive services, 16 items under academic services, 11 items under business services, 4 items under human resources, 1 item under information systems, 32 items under operations, 1 item under public hearing, and 4 items under good of the order. Board members, is there a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
I'll move to adopt tonight's agenda.
I'll second.
Moved by Ms. Langford Fleming, seconded by Mr. Ribble. Please record your vote. Mr. Persons, were you able to vote?
I am an aye.
You vote aye?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries 7-0. As is the custom of the board, Ms. Jordan will introduce her guest to lead us in the invocation, after which I'll introduce the cadet presenting the national colors for a Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Thank you. We are honored this evening to have Pastor Unique Castor. He's the senior pastor of Hallelujah Community Church with us tonight. Please join me in welcoming him, and please step forward. Thank you for being here.
Let's bow our head in prayer. Gracious God and Almighty, we come before you this evening in humble reverence, acknowledging you as the source of all wisdom, knowledge, and truth. As it is written in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5, if any one of you lacks wisdom, let them ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to them. So tonight, Lord, we ask you for wisdom. We thank you for entrusting us with the responsibility to serve, to lead, and to make a decision that affect the life of our children, our family, and our educators, and this community. May every description held and every decision that made reflect our heart and your will. Lord, we pray your blessing over our school, that they will be places of learning and growth, of safety and encouragement. Strengthen our teachers and staff and administrators. Fill them with a passion, patience, and perseverance. And all our students, we pray, as in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7, say, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all that are getting and get understanding, may they grow not only in knowledge, but in character and purpose. Unite us tonight, Lord, in the spirit and the truth. Let no personal agenda stand in the way of what is right and just. Help us to walk in integrity, humility, and grace. We commit this meeting into your hands, and we trust in your sovereign guidance. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray, amen.
Please remain standing. Staff Sergeant. Introducing the cadet who is presenting the national colors for a Pledge of Allegiance tonight is Staff Sergeant Brian Brown, Army instructor from Fort Myers High School. Staff Sergeant Brown served 23 years in the Army in numerous assignments and retired as the Operations Sergeant for the 1st Lightning Battalion. This is Staff Sergeant Brown's 6th year as a JROTC instructor in this district. Thank you for your service to our country, sir.
Thank you. Presenting the national colors tonight is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Gabriel Rodriguez. Cadet Rodriguez has exemplified outstanding leadership, discipline, and dedication throughout the 4 years at Fort Myers High School and the Green Wave JRTC Battalion. As a highest-ranking enlisted cadet, she has set the standards of excellence while leading and mentoring her peers. Cadet Rodriguez has been an integral part of multiple JRTC teams, including Color Guard, Exhibition Drill, Raiders, and Drill Team. She has participated in over 50 Color Guard events, proudly representing the school and the community. Her dedication to excellence led to her completing the state level in both exhibition drill and on the drill team, showcasing her precision and skill beyond the JRTC. Cadet Rodriguez is a well-rounded student. She has played 1 year of varsity basketball, 1 year of junior varsity volleyball, and academically, she has demonstrated exceptional commitment and maintained a 4.6 GPA. She has also accumulated over 100 hours of volunteer service hours, giving back to her community through the service of leadership. Cadet Rodriguez plans to continue her journey of service and excellence by enlisting into the U.S. Air Force. While pursuing a college education, her unwavering dedication, leadership, and commitment to success, and her exceptional role model and a promising future leader in both the military and civilian sectors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up on the agenda is acknowledgements. Next is character word for the month, which is for April. The character word for April is integrity. Just seeing if the... Okay. Adhering steadfastly to a personal sense of honorable and ethical behavior. The design displayed on the screen was created by Samantha Curls, an 11th grade student at North Fort Myers High School. Great job. Now we're going to move on to item number C, recognitions. Board members, please join me in the pit for recognition.
First up, FHSAA State Wrestling Champions.
Joining me at the lectern tonight is David LaRosa, our Director of Athletics and Activities.
How are you, sir?
Good. See you, sir.
Nice to see you.
The School District of Lee County is proud to recognize the 2025 Florida High School Athletic Association State Wrestling Champions. The competition was held at the Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee from March 6th to 8th, 2025. When your name is called, please come up to receive your certificate and join the board members and superintendent in the pit for photos. We ready, sir? Yep. Okay. First up is Mariner High School senior Maximus Brady, who won the Class 2A state title in the 138-pound weight class, making him a four-time FHSAA wrestling state champion. Max is represented by his parents right now because he is actually wrestling right now. Congratulations, it's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
He's trainer for the U.S. Open right now. That's why he's gone.
So LaRosa, come with me.
Right behind.
Okay.
There's only a couple of them here.
Okay. I think that might be next after me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's after this.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay, next up is North Fort Myers High School senior Seth Tisms, who won the Class 2A state title in the 285-pound weight class. Congratulations. Sham, sorry.
It's not.
Mr. Sham, sorry about that. Okay. The school board and superintendent are pleased to recognize these students, along with their coaches, Clay French and Dusty Fellows, for their commitment, determination, and hard work that led to this outstanding accomplishment. Congratulations. Who's next? Mr. Vanelli.
Here's what looks like my basketball. Thank you. Are you ready? Yeah. Join us again at the lectern tonight is David LaRosa, Director of Athletics and Activities. The District of Lee County is proud to recognize the Lehigh Senior High School Unified Basketball Team on their Florida High School Athletic Association State Championship. Unified Basketball is a program offered through Special Olympics, bringing together athletes with and without intellectual disabilities to train and compete on the same team. This promotes social inclusion, teamwork, and friendship. This year's competition was held at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida on March 4th, 2025. The Lightning Unified Basketball Team defeated Norfolk Myers High School 52-49 to claim the state championship. The team is coached by Shelley Ines and Michelle Smith and Kendris Matthews. When your name is called, please come up to receive your certificate and join the board members and the superintendent in the pit for photos. Tonight, we recognize the following basketball state championship students. While not all students are in attendance, we will still like to acknowledge them for their outstanding accomplishments. Team members include Anthony Costa. Come on down, Anthony. Emmanuel Paul. Come on down if you're here. Laura Lucha. O'Shane Kamek Watts. John Juan Mateus. Corvins Louis Sant. Shendo Pierreville. And Yariel Sanchez. Stay there. The school board and the superintendent are proud to recognize these athletes, both present and absent, along with their coaches, for their commitment, determination, and hard work that has led this outstanding accomplishment. Thank you.
All right, joining me at the lectern tonight is Dr. Jason Tomaszewski, Coordinator of Fine and Performing Arts. Each year, the Florida Music Educators Association holds statewide editions to fill the spots in their 24 different All-American performing groups. The student musicians accepted into these groups are considered the best of the best at their level and instrument. The students submit blind video auditions and are compared with those of hundreds of other students. The following Lee County students were selected as all-state students out of over 100,000 state entries. These students represented our district at the FMEA All-State Music Conference this past January in Tampa. Tonight, we recognize the following all-state music students. We're going to recognize 18 schools here tonight, so we're going to take one gigantic picture. So try to, when you get up there, figure out where the center line is, and where's our picture police? Over here, and they'll direct you so we get this thing in orderly fashion.
We also have some students not here tonight.
We also have some students not here tonight. Cape Coral High School, Principal Ryan Jackson, teachers Eduardo Ortega and Lisa Hammond. Are they here?
No, they're not the first.
They're not, okay. Are there students here?
No.
Okay, moving on. Challenger Middle School, Principal Chris Drake, Kevin DeVitt, student Peyton Law. Cypress Lake High School, Principal Angela Rolls, teachers Kyla Lisa, Gary Stroff, Randy Webb, students Arco Williams, Nikita Denish, Nick Bakos, Lauren Moore, Ashley Perez Marquez, and Jamison Moore. Cypress Lake Middle School, Principal Matt Miller, teachers Steve Dean, Christian Tremblay, students Mary Holden, Sano Doherty, Elisa Liu. Diplomat Middle School, Principal Jason Plucker, teacher Mark Dunlig, student Megan Bushler. Are they here or not? No? Okay, moving right along to Dunbar High School, Principal Carl Burnside. I know Carl's here, right there, here he comes. Teacher Leroy Irving, student Karmaschewski Fernando. Is he here, Fernando? Edison Park Creative and Expressive Arts School, Principal Sherry Wolf. Teacher Samantha O'Brien, student Declan Edwards. Fort Myers High School, Principal Christian Engelhardt. Teachers Angela Argamonte, Ledrin Townsend, and students Kaylee Jones and Brandon Sarah. You notice our picture police are doing a much better job this month with these pictures. That's good. Sure. Gateway High School, Principal Nikita Watson, teacher Jenny Reimers, students Caleb Rhymes. Are they here?
The next one's not here either.
Okay, Ida S. Baker High School, Principal Jamie Culvert, teacher Julian Grubb, student Julia Gonzalez. No?
No, we had another rehearsal tonight. North Fort Myers Academy of the Arts, Principal Andy Miller, teacher Melissa Volsell, Christiana Moffett, and Shannon Abney, students Zoe Molina, Charlotte Lehman, Jane Peck, David Pregazzo Guzman, and Krista Avila. North Fort Myers High School, Principal Debbie Diggs, teachers Michelle Flores Perez, Christina Collier, and Danielle Parks. And the students are Justin Wang, Ella Shen, Darby Trishman, Samuel Mayes, Dominic Palazzo, Ella Culberston, Verano Dursalo, Mia Durso, Ethan Mooring, Samantha Oliveira. I hate to mention this to the picture police, but I think the board needs to stand behind you're okay there? All right, okay. Oak Hammett Middle School, Principal David Hauschel, teacher Talia Savosky, students Anastasia Wills, Nora Horrington. Patriot Elementary School, Principal Elizabeth Feliciano, teacher Dorothy Yorty, student Angela Brister. And the last four schools, Spring Creek Elementary School, Principal Julian Fiora, teacher Stacy McDonald, student Amber Ortega. The Sanibel School, Principal Jennifer Lussick, teacher Joey Gingreco, students Aubrey Wilson, Danielle Zarecki, and Tristan Michael.
Three Oaks Middle School, Principal Forrest Walker. Teacher Joshua Weathers and Mario Teja. Student Maiji Zhang and Adlai Williamson. And are they here? Are they here? Trafalgar Elementary, Principal Lisa Murphy, Teacher Porter Golseth, and Student Eva Pedorzo. Okay, we're up. We're not here. We're going to stand. And we got to stand in the front since we did the activity. Thank you.
Great job. Great job.
Great job, everyone. That was amazing. We'll give a moment for everyone to clear out. Okay, next up on the agenda, I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Carlin for a minute.
Thank you, Chair Fisher. I'd like to begin by reading a statement to address some allegations that were posted on Facebook. The school district is aware of allegations about a student project shared online by community members. The details of that assignment cannot be discussed under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, known as FERPA, and Florida Statutes 1002.22. However, we can share that the assignment was simply to interview someone about a moment in time. To be absolutely clear, the school district would not, and not ever, allow any assignment that would ask for sexually explicit information nor explore anything related to pedophilia. Further, it is important to know that the Lee County School District unequivocally does not condone underage sexual relationships. The school district has complied with Chapter 39 of Florida statutes, which requires mandatory reporting in incidents of suspected child abuse, abandonment, or neglect. The district has also complied with its policies, internal processes, and other statutory requirements. The health, welfare, and safety of our students is always our paramount concern. Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. This moment, we're going to move into the item of public comment. Attorney DeBrie Bruno, please address the item of public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher, and good evening. School board policy provides the opportunity at this point of the meeting to address the board concerning any matter on this meeting's agenda or any other matter relevant to the operation of the school district. Please complete a public comment card and put it in the basket provided. If you need a public comment card, they are provided by our staff. The rules concerning public comment are posted in the back and will be made from the podium in the front center aisle. Please be advised that the board will not respond during public comment to remarks made by speakers. The purpose of public comment is to provide feedback on district issues such as duties, responsibilities, decisions, and the general operation of the district. The school board is viewpoint neutral during public comment. We ask that decorum be kept and respect be shown, which is what is expected when a government agency conducts official business. Therefore, abusive language defined as swearing, use of profanity, or name-calling is prohibited. In addition, clapping, hissing, booing, or display of temper during public comment is prohibited. Speakers who fail to follow proper decorum in the chambers will be ruled out of order by the board chair or the board attorney. Any speaker continuing with such remarks will be required to relinquish the microphone per Board Policy 0169.1 and may be removed from the chambers by the Sergeant at Arms. Per Board Policy 0169.1, the time per speaker is 3 minutes if there are 20 speakers, 2 minutes if there are 30 speakers, and 1 minute if there are 31 speakers or more. The maximum time allotted for public comment is 1 hour, 60 speakers. You will find a countdown on the big screens in the front of the room. Once your time has elapsed, the microphone will automatically shut off. Please state your name when you approach the microphone. I will call your names 5 speakers at a time. Please follow staff's direction when lining up. Mr. Chairman, there are 13 individuals that wish to address the board this evening. The time per speaker is 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Board Attorney. Please ensure you have completed a public comment card to provide public comment. The card is a public record identifying those who speak and providing contact information to staff for follow-up. The cards are located within staff in the hallway. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the board that has not filled out a public comment card? Please raise your hand. Okay, I am seeing none. So Attorney Dupree Bruno, please proceed with public comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Will the following individuals please line up? Lou Navarro, James Milwaukee, Melissa Wallace, Noivette Lara, Heather Rodriguez Wibbles.
Good evening, Superintendent, School Board, Lou Navarro, retired teacher, TALC member. I am concerned about the news press articles of politics being played now that we have an elected superintendent. Why did we need a $180,000 contract for a lobbyist in Washington, D.C. when President Trump just did away with the Department of Ed? What will we lobby for? Historically, by the Constitution, education is mandated to the states, and the federal government pays little. Again, the federal government's share is only 13.6%, and 4% was to the now defunct DOE. As quoted in the news press, there are political paybacks, are there? I know that I've seen the donors for Dr. Carlin's campaign. Is this political payback? Tonight, I want a resolution from the board to immediately cancel lobbyist contract. The DOE is defunct. It serves no purpose but to burn $180,000 we can use for the teachers. Lee County is the first school district that I can remember in 80 years where the legislature, thanks to Spencer Roach, who retired, mandated an elected superintendent vote. They also mandated partisan elections, which has one board member changing party affiliation. Playing politics? You made Veterans Day a holiday. Now I'm telling you to sponsor a measure to have the vote return to an elected superintendent's position on the next ballot. You can do this. Dr. Pardo did, rest in peace, many years ago. We haven't had an elected superintendent for 50 years. I think this will clear up this problem of politics. Speaking about Ms. Gwen Gittens in her news article, I quote, "Transparency, we are told the district is performing cost-cutting savings, but then tonight you're going to pass 12 new positions down here. That means they can be hired this year." And that's her quote. This administration and board keep creating positions after positions. I think it's hypocrisy. My math says 12 positions downtown versus the cut is probably a shortfall. What are we going to do? Raise a teacher's salary with the 5% from 15.5 to probably 15.7? You are missing my mark of the starting salary of $70,000. Remember, you budget for 200 positions you cannot fill. Put that into
Thank you for your comments, sir. Your time is up.
James Wakil, President, Lee County NAACP, State of Florida, Southern Regional Director. I'm here to support the Lee County School District in their revising the settlement agreement back in 2018. Attorney Bruno and Superintendent Dr. Carlin and also Superintendent Dr. Savage did a wonderful job in working with the NAACP in making sure that they followed the law regarding the executive orders by President Trump, and then also making sure that they stayed within the law of the Civil Rights Act itself. We affirm all of what the school district has put forth. The parties affirm that, we affirm that merit-based opportunities, non-discriminatory objectives are guiding principles when it comes to fair education. We affirm that data-driven transparency and accountability are also guiding principles. We affirm that we acknowledge that discriminatory practices, including racial preferences and quotas, are inconsistent with federal law and principles of equal protection under the law. The district commits to ensuring that all educational programs, disciplinary policies, and employment practices adhere to principles of fairness, equal treatment, and individual merit in compliance with federal and state law. Some of the laws that the school district made sure that administrators, teachers, staff in general, students, and community knew that was available to them in the event they sought legal action are the 1964 Civil Rights Act, Title II, that governs public accommodations, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, that covers race, color, national origin, so forth and so on. Also, Title VII of the federal.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Your time is up.
My name is Nettie Vatlara. Dear members of the school board, we are a dedicated group of school nurses that are here to express our collective concern regarding the recent changes to the organizational chart, particularly the potential elimination of supervision by a registered nurse over health services and the lack of recognition of the essential role the school nurse has within the proposed structure. We are particularly alarmed by the job description for the Director of Physical and Mental Health Services, which focuses exclusively on mental health without any mention of nursing or critical responsibilities that the school nurses carry out every day. As school nurses, our role extends far beyond just training clinic assistants to effectively run school clinics. Every day, we care for students with a wide variety of health concerns, ranging from acute injuries to chronic conditions such as asthma, diabetes, seizures, severe allergies, to name a few. We conduct yearly state-mandated health screenings, including vision screenings, hearing screenings, which provide early detection for health issues that could drastically impact a student's ability to learn. We also support students with chronic medical conditions ensuing individualized healthcare plans that are in place and collaborate with teachers, parents, and healthcare providers. The nurses of our district bring a wealth of experience from various fields within the healthcare system. Together, we represent a diverse range of expertise, knowledge, skill, and directly contribute to the safety, health, and well-being of our students and staff. The role of Director in Physical and Mental Health Services, as currently defined, fails to account for the full scope of nursing duties or the necessity of registered nurses overseeing school health services. By eliminating RN supervision in the new organizational structure, the district risks neglecting vital health services, which are ultimately hindering the ability for students to receive the care in a timely and effective manner. Registered nurses have specialized laws that govern nursing practice within our educational setting. This includes the Nurse Practice Act, delegation laws, and frequently we receive new directives from the Department of Health and Education. We are trained by our Health Services Director to interpret and follow these laws, which ensure our care is in line with state and federal guidelines, safeguarding the health of our students and integrity and legality of services that we provide. We strongly urge the board to reconsider the proposed organizational changes and believe that the position of the Director of Physical and Mental Health Services must include a registered nurse for the oversight and integration of nursing responsibilities.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, will the following individuals please line up? Josh Malua, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Janine Worthley, Christian Shadesky, Joe Phillips, Gwen Gittens.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I've had the privilege of serving as a school nurse in this district for over 13 years. I love my job, I love my students, and I love the nurses I work with, many of whom are here tonight. I stand before you not just as a nurse, but as an advocate for the health and well-being of our students. I am deeply concerned by the proposed changes in our organizational structure, which do not acknowledge the important role of school nurses. Firstly, referring to our department as physical health is frankly insulting. We are registered nurses with a minimum of bachelor's degrees, and many of us with master's degrees. Our role extends far beyond the managing of physical health. We are integral to the mental, emotional, and overall well-being of our students. We assess, treat, and manage chronic conditions, provide crisis intervention, coordinate care with families and outside providers, and even address mental health challenges. Our responsibilities cannot and should not be reduced to a narrow label. Today, during the board workshop, it was mentioned that our department was run 15 years ago by a coordinator. While this is true, it was not run well. When I started 13 years ago, we had no clear policies to follow. The person in charge was not qualified and had never actually worked as a registered nurse. It is essential to have well-trained leadership who truly understand the complexity of school health needs. The absence of such leadership at that time had lasting consequences, and it is crucial that we avoid repeating these mistakes today. The needs of our students have only grown more complex over the years. Many of our students come to us with increasingly severe health conditions, often requiring specialized care and attention. It is more important than ever that school nurses are supported, trained, and recognized for the vital role they play in the educational system. I urge you to reconsider the recent changes and to place value on the professional qualifications, experience, and expanded role of school nurses. We are not just a department that manages physical health. We are a critical part of the educational team, ensuring that all students are safe, healthy, and able to succeed. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Heather Rodriguez-Wibbles, and I'm a school counselor for our school district. I've worked for Lee County for 15 years and as a counselor for the last 4 years. I came to speak to you today for 2 reasons. One, to offer you an invitation. I'm a TALC member, and part of that, we partner with the AFT to do the Teacher Leader Program for the last 3 years. What this program is, it is a group of teachers that have different issues that they have researched, and they look for solutions. This is not a chance to complain, it's a chance to fix. Because in this district, we have so many experts in the room, but we need to listen to them because we all collectively work better with all the experts in the room, not just a single voice. So April 26th, you should have received an email from Kevin Daly by now, but April 26th at 11 a.m., we will be at the TALC office, and we hope that you make it a priority to come see our participants. They have some wonderful things for you to hear about. Debbie Jordan came last year, before that, and Amy Desamore, as well as Kathleen Morgan. So please work in to come see our participants. It has been wonderful. I'm very proud of their hard work. I also come to you today to talk about this restructuring. Let me go to my notes because it's deeply concerning, changing to physical and mental health or wellness. Right now, when I have an issue where I'm concerned about a student's mental health, state statute, I call Lori Brooks. The depth of knowledge that she has, her kindness, the supervision that she provides to multiple people cannot be matched. Whenever you're taking away 3 experts to lay this at one person's feet, it's not helpful. I stand with my school nurses. I know what you guys do just the few times I go to the clinic, and gross, and I love you. Secondly, with this, I don't think people are aware of the many things that fall under those umbrellas. There's high school graduation requirements, promotion requirements. There are many things that will put our district in additional lawsuits. This is not a good idea to take away our experts. I could not compliment Lori more. I don't know Amy Clark and Wally Cologne as well, but I hear nothing but their praises from everyone that works for them. Please reconsider this and look at what the problems that it creates, because I guarantee you the budget, whatever you saved, you will be losing in lawsuits. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. My name is Janine Worthley. I'm a school psychologist, and I'm speaking to you tonight, again, along with my colleagues, about the Department of Physical and Mental Health. The way that it's currently written, that job description specifically states that the supervisor has to have extensive knowledge of current theory and best practices in psychological evaluation. As it's currently written, the only person that can fill that role would be a school psychologist. I could not supervise a nurse if my life depended on it, and I don't know that they could supervise the work that we do either. As I said earlier today, yes, we have our paths cross, but we are on very different tracks. We do very different things. Currently, the Director of Psychological Services, as you know, is Amy Clark. You recognized her work at the school board meeting in December for having been elected as the president of the Florida Association of School Psychologists. In order to do this job, as written, you need a school psychologist in that role. You already have one who was elected as the president of the school psychologists for the entire state of Florida. I can think of nobody better to do that than Amy Clark. School psychologists, we evaluate every student, every need. We do cognitive evaluations, academic evaluations, social emotional components. Then we take multiple sources of data and write a comprehensive psychoeducational evaluation that not only is accessible to the parents so that they can understand it, it's accessible to teachers so they can implement what we have, all this data that we have gathered, and then we write a legally defensible report. That is not an easy thing to do. We are all master's level clinicians. We can do very well what we've been trained to do, but that does not mean that we can very well do things that we have not been trained to do. So the Department of Physical and Mental Health, as my colleagues have said, we implore you to not make that change. The Department of Psychological Services should remain as its own separate identity, and you already have the most qualified person in that role. One of the things it says for this new role is to participate in state and national organizations and build rapport with those organizations. Well, Amy Clark would not have to build rapport with the state organization because she is the president of that organization. She has also, over the last few years, brought large groups of people to the National Association of School Psychologists National Conference, which was an unbelievable training opportunity. So on behalf of pretty much everybody that would be affected by this new Department of Physical and Mental Health, we are all collectively asking you to vote no on that. That would be a disaster for the students of Lee County. They deserve better. As a school psychologist, I will tell you, we all deserve Amy Clark as our supervisor, and the school nurses deserve to have a school nurse as their supervisor. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Madam Superintendent. My name is Christina Chedursky, and I have proudly served as an educator in Lee County for 23 years. I am the Director of Communications for TALC, and I am also a parent of 2 children who attend our public schools. I stand before you tonight wearing all 3 of those hats, with one unified message. It's time to make serious, meaningful investments in our teachers. With the elimination of the extended school day at my school and the potential loss of turnaround status, I am projected to lose over $6,100 next year. That's not a minor adjustment. It's groceries, it's gas, it's a mortgage payment. And I am not the only one. Educators in similar schools across the district are facing the same reality with no clear plan to make us whole. We are already behind. Compared to surrounding counties, Lee County teacher pay is not competitive. When nearby districts offer better compensation, we just lose teachers. We lose experience, leadership, and stability for our students. As an educator and a parent, I am deeply concerned about what this means for our schools. Our children deserve consistent, passionate, experienced educators, but that's only possible if we're able to keep them here. Every day, Lee County teachers go above and beyond, despite rising costs, flat wages, and increased demands. We keep showing up because we care. But that commitment is not sustainable without real investment. We are not just employees. We are the heartbeat of this district. Please invest in us in the way we invest in our students. Thank you.
Will the following individuals please line up? Jeanette Tardif, Joshua Kraken, Jacqueline Perez.
Hi, good evening. My name is Josh Molina, and I want to take this opportunity as we just recognize a wonderful group of musicians that represent Lee County at a state level. I wanted to use this opportunity as a father of 2 young cellists that started a musical journey over 10 years to express the need for the county to allocate funds to give additional support to those students that excel in the musical program to help them achieve their potential. We receive a very basic support of school level and only able to reach to the level of all state by the dedication of us as a family alone, finding the proper professional cellists, in our case, to teach our kids, giving private lessons, creating an advanced musical program will be a great help for the kids that could take it to the next level and bring the county to the max level possible and represent them as the best way possible.
Good evening. I am Smoking Joe. My team received the newsletter that was published by the Lee County School District. The newsletter involves minor students. I'm going to just abbreviate because of what the statement said. This involves children that were 12 with 20-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 34-year-olds, and a Dr. Irwin is the executive producer. She's the one signed off of this, not a student. So you can call it a student newsletter if you want to. It wasn't. But there's many other problems within the district. There is several teachers now, and I'm sorry, but my notes died on me, so y'all get lucky today. But I'm going to start exposing all the sexual conduct in the schools that is on public record, and you still have teachers who got minimal, anything done to them for what they've done. One teacher took pictures of several 13-year-olds' lower torso and buttocks. Another teacher asked a child if she'd ever picked cotton, and he also described how he had bruised his wife's cervix with his large penis. This is a teacher that is currently working in the district. You have another teacher that y'all just received an award for a high impact teacher award. This teacher was also penalized for what he done. So I'm going to expose it all. And I won't talk about what y'all let go on in this thing. I don't know anybody that would allow any of this stuff to go out in the public view other than you folks. I'm a father of 2 children, young girls in this district. When I see things like this and I hear that y'all still have staff that have been barely slapped on the wrist for these type of actions, it upsets me. And I think that the public needs to know, if you want to go and be transparent, I've never put nothing out that was not absolutely factual, that I did not have the proof, and everybody up here knows it. So you can say social media made allegations. They weren't allegations. We have all the hard copy facts. We have everything Manny Diaz put out on all these teachers. We have it all. So if you want to continue to not do your job and keep making bad decisions, Ms. Carlin, I'm just going to tell you, any good leader knows that you can't win any battles when you have unhappy soldiers. You've created a toxic environment. And it's not healthy for the staff, and it's definitely not healthy for our students. Please rethink your position, and this is a good time for me to say we need to start learning how to recall them all.
Good evening, Gwinnetta Gittins. Hi, everybody. You've got a lot of flack in the last few weeks about transparency. So I want to give you an example of what transparency looks like that would help the people in the community. And these are fake numbers. I just made them up for the point. Transparency looks like this. We're going to cut 5% out of operations budget by saving on overtime. That's going to save us $900,000. That amount will be taken out of account 1234 and put into account 777, which is teacher pay. Another example, academic services will cut $10,000 in travel expenses. It will be taken out of account 3456. And the $10,000 will be moved to HR's department, account 777, for teacher pay. When we reach $20 million in 777 for teacher compensation, any overage will go to account 7577 for teacher recruitment. That's what transparency sounds like. The Lee County School District saved approximately $16 million to go toward teacher pay. We're not sure which account it came from or where it will go to, and we're not sure because we were told some of it will go to teacher compensation. Where's the other going? 18 executive positions will be approved tonight, and I know you will all unanimously approve it. 11 of those 18 are new. New positions like directors and chiefs and coordinators and all those good things. You say in your own message that there is a fiscal impact, and it was budgeted for the 24-25 school year, so you knew that this was coming. Questions I have are, who has the time to create new executive positions rather than taking the time to cut 5% out of their departments. Example, historically, you're going to say that these are just future positions and you're not going to fill them right now. But once the position is voted on, you can fill it at any time. When do you think these positions will be filled? Historically, you will say, well, they're just there when we need them. And finally, how do these new jobs relate to the 5% cut in each department, especially since the positions are scheduled for this budget? The kids will say something on SMH, it's shake my head. And I've shaken my head so much recently at some of the things that have been done that it's just tired. One of the things I want
Time is up. Thank you for your comments.
Please don't say the next item on the agenda.
Hi, my name is Joshua Krakow. My daughter attends Treeline Elementary. When they first opened kindergarten this year, this is my daughter's kindergarten year, I signed up to participate in the school PTO the first day of school. Unfortunately, it is very unorganized. I tried to get on the Facebook group and have comments with nothing but dissent because I had a differing opinion. When I had addressed the concerns, my comments were deleted, and furthermore, I was actually removed from the Treeline Elementary's Facebook page. So now I'm not even able to participate in my daughter's curricular activities. I did participate in the father-daughter dance, which I helped set up and disassemble. I really want to be participating in my daughter's school, but it seems like it's set up by a bunch of moms that are very cliquey. I have a nonprofit for single dads. I've worked with Colonial Elementary's, the community school program with my nonprofit prior. I'd love to get into Treeline and work with them, but it's been nothing but hostility with that school and trying to participate. I want to work with them. I also am displeased I have seen that newsletter that was sent out. I think that is absolutely disgusting at the private school or at the teacher school, talking about kids having sex with adults. This is not something that was a joke or something that was not published. I have seen it myself, and it is absolutely disgusting that you guys are trying to cover that up as well. I am ashamed of what our school board is. I personally graduated from this school district, and it has definitely gotten absolutely worse. I was not pleased with how it was ran before. I was personally assaulted over 30 times in our public schools. There are actual records of these assaults myself, and I am displeased that my daughter is seeing the same thing but worse, I think, and I am very fearful for our future and our education in this county. I am running for State House in this year
No politics.
Okay. I hope that we can end up getting rid of our property taxes so that way we can disband our school board, so that way our teachers can actually advocate and we can see a smaller bureaucracy so our teachers can get paid and the people that are actually doing the work are getting paid. So the pencil pushers up in front of us and the lobbyists that have been funding you guys are going broke, because that is what is called freedom, not a dictatorship or an oligarchy, and that is what we have in Lee County, whether it's Armor Persons and his daughter, who's State House.
Time is up, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, Board. Jacqueline Perez. First, I want to acknowledge the nurses who came here that I am very grateful to, because my daughter suffered from a life-threatening illness. And if it wasn't for the nurses in her elementary school and her middle school who were totally on top of her illness all the time, I couldn't have worked one day. So thank you for everything. And this is what you need to see. You need to pull this chart the way it's been made. I watched the meeting this afternoon, and I'm floored at some of the changes being made, and there are some that I do agree with, but I have my phone filled with messages through social media, text messages, emails from employees of the district who are in total fear and it's chaos. They're walking on eggshells because of all these changes being made. Dr. Savage made a comment that communication is important. Well, I don't see that communication going out to the staff. Everybody is left in the lurch about what's going on, and you cannot eliminate some of those positions that are so instrumental in protecting our children. And a few of you board members know how ill my daughter was, and she has that disease for the rest of her life. At any point, she could have died, and thank God for the nurses that you had in the school. I want to go on to say that I'm so sorry. Following your hiring practices is what's key. Most of the employees that are communicating with me feel that you are bypassing your own policies that you put in place to protect them, that it's not being done. People are being gifted jobs. There's a lot of nepotism and cronyism going around, and they don't feel that they're being heard. People are being called, even on Monday, they were called into a room being told that they were being demoted, not having a clue as to what's going on. They feel like their lives are in dark places, and that needs to be alleviated. If you want to have good communication with your staff and promote productivity and compassion, you have to be open with them. You can't just be hitting them with all these things. Going back to the YPEP program, I put in a complaint several weeks ago, and there were only a couple of board members that responded, but nobody came back. And if you had shown some interest, if you're board members and the public is communicating with you or employees are communicating with you, you could lay everything at Dr. Carlin's feet. But it's up to you. You have a responsibility to follow up in a week or two and say, Dr. Carlin, where is that at? And what's happened? You know, go look at my complaint about YPEP and what's happened. And it's important to know who you have in place there right now. You have the assistant principal who's out on leave, who had an...
Thank you for your comments. Your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
My name is Jenny Tardif, and I'm a parent of a child at Beach Elementary. I'm on the PTO, the ad hoc committee, and I'm also as an alumni of the school. I came here tonight to ask you to do what you already said you were going to do. Some of you may remember me because I've been here before numerous times, too many times. I was here when I didn't know where my family was going to sleep at night. I was here when I didn't know if I was going to be able to fix my home. And not just me, many parents and community members, some of which are still not home. And through all of the things that were going on, we came here and continue to come here in good faith. We made an agreement with you. The first time we went through all of this, I sat in a room and was told by a specialist that our school would not have more than 34 kids enrolled. We told him and the board they were wrong and let us prove it. And you did, and we were doing so through hard work, which I like to think was being done on all sides. Our numbers were climbing, and in 6 months, we doubled all predictions. 6 months. The programs we are promoting, not only at the school, but also in our community and our business culture, are amazing. The FGCU collab with the water school, field trips to the food forest. Who doesn't want that for their kids? Let's add in our island's own Mound House visits and Lover's Key excursions, hand-on environmental learning, right in their own backyard. This is what we talked about. How special is it that the businesses, hotels and restaurants even, are creating schedules that are allowing their employees to be able to drop off and pick up their children in line with the district's schedule. You walk into their offices and there are posters on how to enroll your child into success. Kudos to the HR departments for teaming up with us for better for everyone. Not to mention, our town maintains for decades now an amazing aftercare program that allows parents to pick up their kids at 6 p.m. for an affordable price, mind you. This is the same aftercare that creates programs and fun days that focus on education and teamwork, so the kids are still absorbing knowledge even when not inside your district walls. I could go on and on about the history of the school itself, which is spectacular, but I already have, and I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do any of this again. No one does. So I will say it again. I'm here to ask you to do what you said you would do. Continue to follow the ILA, and let us continue to not only succeed, but to exceed all the expectations. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes public comment.
Thank you, Madam Board Attorney. Thank you, everyone. We truly appreciate your feedback. Okay, moving on. Approval of the action items under the consent agenda. The documentation for action items listed under consent is made available to board members 7 business days prior to the board meeting. We're expected to review all the material, and we have an opportunity to speak with the superintendent with any questions we may have regarding the recommendations. Some of these items have also been briefed or workshopped with the board in advance of appearing on the action agenda. Board members, are there any agenda items you wish to pull for discussion under unfinished business and table items? Mrs. Giovanelli.
I have none.
Okay. Mr. Ribble.
I have none.
Ms. Jordan.
I have one, K4, job descriptions.
K4 job descriptions, okay. Mr. Persons, if you're still on the line.
I have none.
None, okay. Mrs. Langford Fleming.
I have none.
Mrs. Chaviano.
I have none.
And I have none. Okay, board. Is there a motion to approve the agenda's consent action items with the exception of pulled item K4, correct?
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
A second.
Moved by Mrs. Chaviano, seconded by Mr. Ribble. Mr. Persons, I'm probably going to need to ask you for your vote if you're not getting it on board docs.
I'm an aye.
Can you repeat? I think you said aye.
I am an, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do we have a vote count?
Ms. Jordan, how would you like to vote?
I didn't know it didn't go through. It went through.
Motion carries 7-0. Dr. Carlin, please introduce any administrators in attendance with a new assignment approved under the consent agenda.
Thank you very much, Chair Fisher. I appreciate the opportunity. So I'd like to introduce the following administrators who are present. So we'll start with Jaquez Banks, the new athletic director at Lehigh Senior High School. We'll move on to the next appointment, Lisa Barnes, who will be our Executive Director of Safety and Security. Next up is Christina Morgan, and we're very proud to announce that she will be the interim principal at San Carlos Park Elementary. And last but not least, Karina Velasquez, who will be our Executive Director of Human Resources. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much for the work that you're going to do with your respective teams. We're very proud of you and look forward to your leadership.
Thank you, Superintendent Carlin. I'm going to take a point of personal privilege, and I want to welcome and thank former Deputy Chief of the Cape Coral Police Department, Lisa Barnes. Thank you for serving our community for over 30 years. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and I'll echo what Mr. Persons taught me in the beginning. Enjoy tonight, but make sure you show up tomorrow. Thanks. You're released from the meeting. Give a moment to clear. Okay, we're ready to proceed. Dr. Carlin, please present your recommendation for pulled item K4.
Thank you, Chair Fisher. My recommendation as superintendent is the approval to adopt and revise job descriptions for the academic services, business services, human resources, and the executive services divisions.
Is there a motion to approve Dr. Carlin's recommendation?
I move to approve Dr.
Okay.
Carlin's recommendation.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Mrs. Langford Fleming, second by Mr. Ribble. Discussion. Go ahead.
Guess it's me.
That's you.
Okay, well, I did not have enough time to speak about this at our last meeting because we ran up until the minute of this meeting. So, and I had forewarned you before by sending you an email letting you know that I would need more time to have conversation. But I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 here that job descriptions that I think that, or I would wish that we would take consideration and looking at. And it does go back to, again, the Director of Physical and Mental Health Services. And we have heard people after people speaking on that and the what it looks like and what they need as far as the professionalism, the licensing, and all of that, and how those 3 individuals or units, okay, we're going to units again, those 3 units really go into the district. It affects every single one of our children. And I think that we need to reevaluate these 3 right here as far as making sure that we have all the information on here, what is required, and that we don't have to worry about, are we going to be sued, or are our kids going to be taken care of? Does the nurses, do they understand what they need? Does the counselors understand what they need? Do mental health experts know what they need? Because by reading this, they don't. It's just whoever's going to be there is going to be there. And even I pulled another from another county where they even had the director of behavior and mental health services. They even put in there, because of Stoneman Douglas, the SB 7026 initiative, they implemented that in there too, because since that has happened, and I know we talked about 15 years ago, well, today is a new day, and we are trying to, we speak about mental health, we speak about safety for our children, we speak about outcomes of our children, but yet where's all that oversight going to come from? We need to make sure that we have the people in place, the right people in place to lead, and the right people in place to make sure that we are adhering to everything that we need to be adhering to as far as legally, morally, just period. So those 3, I wish that we could take them back and reevaluate, look at them and bring them back to us. I don't know why there's such a rush for us to do everything in this one day, but that's what's happened with all of these, actually. We have the senior student services, that would be part of that because that's lined up within that. So those 4 actually fit into that same silo. Then I had written down, even though Ms. Jada Langford Fleming had mentioned it, the one for the Director of Arts and Athletes, Activities, and Administration. I did notice that we did have that on our organizational chart the last time, back in, cannot recall when that was, but it was last year. However, you could not find a job description for that. So it was there, but we did not have it filled. And I do think it is really hard because of everything that does take place. We are a very active district with the arts and the athletics, as Ms. Jada had said, and I just definitely think that we need to rethink that, because again, once we approve these, they can just go right in, and I don't care if they say it's for next year, tomorrow, whatever. We've left that open for anybody to be placed in these positions. And then my last one is and I'm looking at this as a unit, not an individual, the Deputy Chief of Staff. That to me is another one where I have a problem with, because the fact that we were told that we would not have a Chief of Staff, but yet we are looking at now a Deputy Chief of Staff. And I'm just assuming or visualizing the possibility of who might be in there, and then the problem of perhaps a conflict. So I am, I can't agree on any of these, and that's where I stand. And thank you for allowing me to share that.
Ms. Juvenile?
So I just have a couple questions for the superintendent. I know, Attorney Bruno, are we violating any of our policies by making these decisions tonight? I think that's what came up earlier.
So I don't think you're violating any of your policies. I mean, you're allowed to make the decision based on the recommendation made by the superintendent. So the question is, are you comfortable with moving forward? That's really what the question is, and it will be the will of the board if the board is comfortable in moving forward with these recommendations.
Okay, and then my questions now are for the superintendent. These new positions and some that you're implementing, are we doing away with any old positions that are replacing these? Because I think some of these positions are combined jobs, right? So do you have a list of the ones that are going away, and then what happens to those job descriptions? Are they out there in limbo land that could be filled at any time? That's some of the things has came up. And then obviously the other question really is, at any time we can revisit the org chart if we think, and it's brought to our attention that it's not working, correct? And we can talk about it, as a board, we can talk about it, and obviously with you. But I mean, none of this is like set in stone, obvious, though. Some things are gonna be annual contracts, so I get that, but I mean, I think you have to allow time for things to, if they're gonna work, they're gonna work. If they're not, I mean, you need time to know that, right? It's not gonna happen, we're not gonna know these things right away. So, I mean, that is.
Just one clarification. The org chart is really within the discretion of the superintendent, right? So we understand that. The job descriptions statutorily are within the discretion of the board. Once the board approves, then the superintendent can go ahead and fill those positions, that she does not have to come back to you and say, here's a difference in the org chart or anything like that.
Thank you for clarity. I understand that, and maybe some people don't. But I mean, like, down the road, if for some reason, especially with the whole mental health piece, if there's things that aren't working under the new direction, then at any time, if she needs to add someone in there, she can do that. It's not set in stone as if they need more guidance and direction, and someone that knows the ins and outs of a nurse or the ins and outs of social work. That's what I'm, because that's the claim was that those are two separate, but yet we are kind of combining them now, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So, through the chair, if I may, begin to address some of the concerns. So, first of all, thank you for the comments around physical and mental health, and I would just draw your attention to each one of the job descriptions. You take a look at the Director of Physical and Mental Health Services, obviously a master's degree in health science, school counseling, social work, psychology, or related field, with a valid Florida licensing to practice as a health professional, school psychologist, school counselor, mental health counselor, or related areas. So certainly that job description, and if you take a look at the knowledge, skills, abilities, the essential job description, or job functions, and other job functions, that, to me, when I take a look at that, I say, okay, we need to have somebody in there that obviously has a background in one or more of those areas. Supporting that director position, so that is not the director position is not a one and done. If we had nobody else supporting that work, I would totally agree with the premise. The premise is it's very difficult to find one person to fulfill all of those 4 to 5 roles. However, the role of the director, as we talked about this afternoon, is reconceptualized. It is over multiple buckets of work, supported by what we call a succession plan, supported by content experts. So if you review the Assistant Director for Physical and Mental Health, bachelor's degree in health science, counseling, school counseling, social work, psychology, or related field, certainly, and valid Florida licensing to practice as either a health professional, school psychologist, school counselor, mental health counselor, or a related field. So again, that position fulfills the need for those areas. So those are 2 administrators that will support that work. Now we have a 3rd administrator that will support that work. That is called a senior coordinator for physical and mental health services. Again, a bachelor's degree in health science, school counseling, social work, psychology, or a related area. And then again, valid Florida licensing to practice as a health professional, a school psychologist, counselor, mental health counselor, or a related field. Not all of those fields, or. So here we have 3 administrators that are supporting physical health, mental health to include counseling, and other areas like psychology and social work, which right now we have both of those grouped together. So 3 buckets of work, psychology and social work, which is currently grouped together, nursing, and also the school counselors. 3 administrators to do that work, provided with oversight by the director. So I really want to be very crystal clear that we are not saying that the director is over all of that with no support. There is an assistant director, there is a senior coordinator in each, so to support those roles. So I just want to make that clear, because what I'm hearing is it's director or bust, and that is not the case. It is director, assistant director, and senior coordinator. So I want to make that clear. As far as the director for arts, athletics, and activities, there is certainly administrative support and others to support that work. So again, much like the director of physical and mental health services, there are folks under the director of arts, athletics, activities, and admin to support that work. So I want to go on record saying that. To Mrs. Giovanelli's point about the org chart, there has been extensive work. I cannot tell you the hours that have been put into this. This was not Dr. Carlin sat down one night and dreamt up an org chart and then produced it to you. This has been a heavy lift with lots of conversation, not only with the executive team, but with others. I certainly want you to know I would never bring something to you that we hadn't labored over and gone through. When I bring you a recommendation with all my heart, I truly believe this is the team, this is the structure that's going to lead us to be the #1 school district in the state of Florida. Not only are you holding me accountable, I'm holding myself accountable. I said this very clearly on the campaign trail. If we don't achieve our goals as a district, I'll fire myself in 4 years. That's how serious I am about this work. I really appreciate the questions, and I do. I like the fact that you're engaging. That really helps, and it shows me that you're looking carefully at the job descriptions. However, I do want to share with you that we had those very same conversations to make sure there was the appropriate level of support. We had those conversations ad nauseum many, many times, many, many nights, many, many days, multiple meetings. One of the challenges when you make substantive change, and this is leadership, one of the challenges is it's very difficult for people to look at something when it affects them. It's hard to be objective when it affects me. What we're trying to do is try to put an organizational chart into play that will help us help children. And again, I just appreciate your questions because we want to make sure we're clear in our expectation. But I want you to know we've also spent a tremendous amount of time working through this. Thank you.
So I'll just add, I'm going to support this evening. I have a lot of confidence in you, Dr. Carlin, and I also will, you know me as well enough by now to know that if I don't understand or if I don't agree, I'm going to bring it to your attention. I'm not going to share the dirty laundry anywhere but to you and to help you correct it. Because at the end of the day, the expense is going to be our children and our community. So I think right-sizing the organization in the district is key. And you need to have your team in place to, move the district forward, and I will support it this evening. Thank you.
Do we have any other board member comments, question, and concern? Mrs. Langford Fleming, followed by Ms. Jordan, sorry.
I was only going to remind you to ask Mr. Persons.
Oh. Mr. Persons, are you above us right now?
He's up there now.
Mr. Persons?
Yes, I am, sorry.
Thank you.
Get the mute button off.
Do you have any comments, questions, concerns?
No, I have no comments on this right now, thank you.
What was that, sir? No? Okay. Well, you can come back.
No comment.
No
Good.
comment. Thank you, sir. Okay, Ms. Jordan, next.
I'm still very concerned. I appreciate the fact that the confidence in Dr. Carlin, it's not that I don't have confidence in you, it's the fact that I care about kids and I care about this type of stuff. It really hits home to me. So when you hear these people up here talking about the nurses, you need a registered nurse, nothing says you need a registered nurse. Nowhere in here does it say that, but we know by law you have to have that. So where does that go? We just assume that we're going to find one and have them be over top of the people? I don't know. I know this is a no-win battle for me, but I will not be voting for these. So thank you.
Ms. Juvenile?
I just have one. I think it's important to talk about the reason why we have to have these changes. It's back to what I said earlier, the why. There's lots of things that's not being done properly. That's why the changes are needed to move forward. And if we don't, we can't keep doing the same thing as someone said earlier. And I'm going to tell you, I've been here 8 years, and the ESE department has been revamped, revised, reorged. So let's try something else. I'm concerned because I bring it to the attention to the attorneys constantly, because at the school district or at the school levels, they're not doing everything, and maybe they need, that's where the resources need to be, in that classroom, helping them, making sure the IEPs are done, making sure the 504s are delivered, making sure that the resources are there for the students. So I am hoping and praying and putting a lot of confidence in my vote towards that change that's needed in the classroom. And this, I hope, is that. If not, I will be talking about it a lot more.
Mrs. Langford Fleming, then Ms. Jordan.
I do want to say, first of all, thank you to those nurses that showed up. That was great to see them all unified as a team. There's clearly a very special person that is an employee of the district. Dr. Carlin, through the chair, I would like to give you a few moments to talk about those positions and that part. I don't know if you know that particular employee, but what would be the plan for that regarding these 3 new positions or these 3 new areas?
I just briefly want to interject if we're talking about a specific employee.
Right.
Just in.
Correct.
Sorry.
Not a good idea.
I don't want to name the employee. I'm just saying for those that are holding that position, I think that it's important that we are very clear, like Ms. Giovanelli said. If people understand the why behind the what, they're a little more apt to have some patience with watching and seeing how this plays out.
Right. So I'll go back to what I shared before, which is the decisions made on this organizational chart were not based on people. Because it was based on people, I would have stamped the status quo and said, let's keep them all. Absolutely, status quo. Because I have yet to meet anybody down here that is not working extraordinarily hard, that puts their heart and soul into every single thing that they do. And so if it was personally, if I was making this decision based on emotion and fear about making the change, then that's easy for me to do. Like you, Mrs. Jordan, I've spent my entire life dedicated to children. Entire life, my whole career, 32 years as a teacher, assistant principal, director, executive director, and chief. There's a lot of things I could have done, didn't choose to do that. Dedicated my life to children. I want you to know, all of you to know, that any job I bring forward, job description, I am holding myself accountable. You are too, you're holding me accountable, but I'm holding myself accountable that each one of these people that goes into this job is able to do the job that is necessary. So for example, if there needs to be a nurse, guess what? We're going to have a nurse. There needs to be a psychologist, we're going to have a psychologist. There's a counselor, we're going to have a counselor. We're going to look at that. None of these job changes were brought about because I think anybody is doing anything wrong. The people that were spoken about tonight, and I have tremendous respect for those folks, many of them have called me and spoken with me offline. Nothing but respect for the people in those currently in those jobs. This is not about individual people. This is about a structural change that is necessary to move this organization forward. So I hear all of the comments, and believe me, I'm passionate just like you all are, and I want the best for our children. If I didn't, I'd stay retired. But I came back because as superintendent, because I want to see our district do better, and we can.
Briefly, Ms. Jordan, then.
Just for clarification, and thank you for the briefly, that's what happens when we go to one meeting. ESC department is not affected. I just want to clarify that that is still on this sheet. The other ones have been pulled together. So I just wanted to make sure that that was understood. And that, and then as far as the accountability, yes, we will hold, and that is our job to hold the superintendent accountable. However, when it comes to being sued, it will be the board, it will be the entity, the corporation as such. So I just want that to be understood, and thank you.
I have a comment. Anyone have any comments before I go? Superintendent Carlin, with these positional changes from job descriptions, will there be any lacking of any guidance, direction, or any other procedure that will preclude them from doing their jobs?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Change is tough. Resources are finite. We're all up here about the children. I'd like to remind every one of these board members. So we're all looking at that. And there's only so many resources. And in order to support the nurses, our mental health professionals, we need to get them resources out in the schools. As I said, there's only so many ways we can do that. So I'm going to put my trust, and just like we talked about, just like we did when Dr. Savage made major changes to district, we'll verify that, but I am content with the direction we're going because we need to make changes, and we need to make sure these schools and these kids are supported. It's more important to have that support out there. Again, it's nothing against any employees here. I am satisfied, or more than satisfied, with the answers I'm given. We've all, I'm sure, I know I've behind the scenes debated many of these things with the superintendent and gone through it. And this has not been a last minute thing. This has been in the works for quite a while, these suggestions and these changes. I'm going to be voting yes on this, and I will put my support in this. And if there are any issues, just as you always do, I would expect that to be brought to our attention. So, anyone else have anything? Okay, we're going to go to a vote. This will be a roll call vote. First up, Ms. Juvenelli.
Yes.
Mr. Ribble.
Yes.
Ms. Jordan.
No.
Mr. Persons.
Yes.
That was a yes, Mr. Persons? Yes. Aye. Mrs. Langford Fleming.
Yes.
Mrs. Chaviano.
Yes.
And I am an aye. Motion carries 6-1. Moving on to public hearings. We're going to have a public hearing for comment feedback. So Dr. Carlin, please present your recommendation for this evening's public hearing item.
Thank you, Chair Fisher. I am asking for the approval to conduct a public hearing to receive comment on the proposed 2025-2026 instructional materials plan for science.
We will now recess the regular school board meeting and open up the public hearing. The time is 7:50 p.m. As indicated, the public hearing this evening is considered Dr. Carlin's recommendations previously stated. At this time, the public will be invited to speak on this one item. The time allotted for public comment is 3 minutes. So, again, we'll not be taking a vote on this. This is merely for instructional materials or conduct of instructional materials feedback. So is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the board regarding the approval to conduct a public hearing to receive comment in the proposed 2025-2026 instructional materials plan science? I'm seeing no public comment, so at this point, I will now close the public hearing and reconvene the regular school board meeting of April 8th, 2025. The time is 7:51 p.m. Thank you. We're now going to move on to item T, good of the order, other business. First up, we'll go to Board Member Giovanelli.
Thank you. I'll be quick. I just want to thank everyone that came tonight, all the nurses, as well as the social workers, and they have my email. Feel free to please periodically contact me. I'm still here to hear you out, and I will be interested to see how things are going. So, and I just thank you for coming and speaking tonight. Cypress Lake Middle School, Ms. Jordan and I were there yesterday, and Dr. Carlin, when they took the final, they demoed the name of the school. It went down like, it took it a bit. And that's I learned a couple things yesterday. It will have an additional 200 seats. So that's exciting, because that's a school that always, people are always wanting to go to and get in there and pick that now that the selection's less. So there's 200 seats is not a lot in the scheme of things, but it's more than it was. So I'm excited. I was excited to hear that yesterday from the principal. I do want to direct through the chair, the superintendent. One of the speakers mentioned about being removed on Facebook. I don't know if that's a private Facebook or if it's a school district Facebook. If you could find that out and maybe determine if it was the school, why they removed him regardless. I don't think that's something that we should be doing. That's not really good parent engagement. So I think if we could find out about that, that would be great.
Be happy to look at that. Thank you.
And then I just have a little quick speech that I wrote about the actual NAACP MOU. And when this was done in 2018, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really support it because I was upset over the fact that we had to be held accountable. And I don't know if Mr. Dodick remembers this conversation, him trying to talk me into it, because I was driving there to go for the signing of it. And it bothered me so much, I couldn't do it, because I felt that we should be doing what's right for children. It doesn't matter, that nothing else should matter, nothing. And so I actually turned around, because I said, this is just wrong. Why can't, how come it's so hard just to do what's right? So today I have a different outlook, and I'll read my outlook on this today. And I'm very supportive. For me, this is not just another MOU, a memorandum of understanding, but a proclamation from Melissa Giovanelli personally. Today, we stand not just as to formalize the memorandum of understanding with NAACP, but to reaffirm our commitment to civil rights, equity in education and workplace. These rights are grounded in and protected by the U.S. Constitution. These rights are afforded to all students and employees in our education system. It is disheartening that we must have to take this step in 2025. Yet, I remain hopeful that one day this will be a thing of the past. The NAACP has been a long champion for civil rights, and their partnership is invaluable as we work to ensure every child, regardless of their zip code, has access to a quality education and essential resources. I am dedicated to making every single student and employee feel valued and empowered. This MOU provides a framework for collaboration and offers guidance to confront systemic barriers that have been historically affected in our most vulnerable students and harmed our staff. Importantly, it promotes only open communication and community engagement, emphasizing accountability and transparency in our practices. I support this MOU because it represents us with an opportunity to lead with integrity and compassion, Together, let us create a legacy of excellence that reflects our shared values of equity and respect and opportunity for all. After all, this is the land of the free, where every child deserves the chance to realize their full potential. I was elected to make sure that this happens, and that is my personal proclamation to the community I serve. Thank you.
Is that all you have?
Yes.
Thank you, Member Giovanelli. Mr. Ribble?
Yeah, I just want to tag on to what she said. I thought I had a great one-on-one with our attorney, Kathy Bruno, 2 weeks ago, and she shared the document with me. So great job by the superintendent, Dr. Savage, and yourself with your leadership, with your legal expertise. I was impressed. So I just want to tag on you. Real quickly, Thursday I went to the ITF meeting. That's the Insurance Task Force meeting. We're still trending the wrong way. Last year we were spending $8.9 million a month. This past month we spent $10.2 million in claims and benefits. That's $1.3 million more than last year. So we talked about putting a process in place. We haven't really identified the process, but other companies do this when they have benefit numbers that are out of line, because it's really eating to our profits and our revenues. And we don't really have profits, but our revenue that we're trying to give off to negotiate away here later on in payroll. But we need to take a look at it, because we only have 119 more employees. So that number does not correlate. We got to take a look at this. And our claims over 250,000 are continuing to increase. So I know we have an older workforce, but guess what? Last year we had an older workforce too, and some of those folks retired. On another note, FGCU, as you know, I'm the liaison for that. We had a great meeting last week with those folks. The director of education over there, as you know, is Dr. Shazir, Diana, and she has an assistant director, Dr. Michelle Byrne, and we talked about some of the comments that we're getting in our town hall meetings about reading, and I was pleased to see that they're really supporting our reading program. They teach the science of reading just like we do here in the district, and we're going to put together a pilot session in September for a lunch and learn, where we're going to invite some parents to come in. I know I'll get some feedback from folks in my area, because they're the ones that were blowing in my ear about it, some of the parents, and we're going to talk about coordinating the science of reading with a phonemic awareness program, and I guess they're teaching that in the school over there. So we'll piggyback on there, and we'll be inviting my peers here on the dais to hopefully attend that luncheon. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Ribble. Ms. Jordan?
I know I've spoken a lot today, so bear with me for a few more minutes. I just wanted to seriously thank the counselors, the nurses, the mental health experts, and I just wanted to clarify too, I don't know the people who are in those positions at this time. Well, I know the one, but not the other ones. I don't even think I've ever met them, but it's just, to me, that was really important, and I took the time to make sure that I checked with other counties, districts, and got all kinds of information with that regarding our organizational chart, just everything. I spent the whole week doing that. But the good things that are coming, we have Frozen that will be at North Fort Myers High this week. We have Beetlejuice that will be at North Fort Myers Academy. We have Hadestown, which will be at Lehigh. And all of these are our students, and they are wonderful, and we really need to support them and go and watch them. They were actually down at Art Walk this week when the district took over the downtown area, and there were kids everywhere. And everywhere you turn, Ms. Giovanelli was there, everywhere you turn, there were kids performing, dancing, their artwork. It was just tremendous just to see that and see, the families there supporting their children. So that was really a nice event that we did. And thank you to Dr. T for that, because I know that's a lot of work that he puts in for that, a lot of work. We also, I know Mr. Ribble and Mr. Pearsons we went to the Academy Day and seeing the kids that were looking to possibly go into the military academies. There was quite a few people there, so it was really a nice little event. And we had the East Lehigh Chamber who celebrated our teachers, which I really appreciate them doing that. It's always great to see our teachers being celebrated. And then we had the Young Art Tag Award, where the kids drew their pictures and they were going to be on the garbage trucks, which will be great. Miss Giovanelli was there. And it was great to see the parents there, you know, supporting their kids, and their artwork will be on these big giant garbage trucks as they drive through Lee County. So if you see the beautification trucks, look, and that's our kids' pictures on there. I had the DAC meeting. They spoke about it today, and then I added the extra stuff, so that's pretty much where we're at as far as DAC is concerned right now. And then I had the opportunity, I was invited to join the installation of the NAACP last Sunday, this past the Sunday before, for their installation of their new officers. And Ms. Giovanelli, thank you. I really loved all that what you said. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Mr. Persons. Oh, I'm yelling.
Yes.
You're
Boy,
there?
Debbie, you took everything I went to.
Let us know.
Anyway, can you hear me now? Sort of? Okay. I'm getting bad reception where I am. I just want to say I'm in Tallahassee with 24 kids from Lemuel Till, and it's going really well. And we met with Senator Pasadoma and Senator Albritton and Senator Burton. That is the past, present, and future Senate presidents. So that it's been really good. That's all I have. I don't know how much of that you got.
Thank you, Mr. Person. Oh. You saying to keep going? It's hard to hear you, sorry.
I know. I'm going to stop there. The reception's so bad here where I am. I can hear you fine, but I'm going to stop.
I can hear you a little better
up
if you
next
want to
time.
continue. Well, if not,
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Don't worry about it.
we'll give you double next time, Mr. Persons, okay? Mrs. Langford Fleming.
Thank you. I was able to attend the ISOC meeting. They had new officers, and this was their first meeting. They did a great job. Not really they didn't get really into the big meat and potatoes of things. They had new members also there, which was encouraging that we've got, members of the community that want to serve there. Our construction committee did an awesome job on the updates that they were requesting. So that's what I have there. I'm not going to list all the things I've attended, but I will tell you one of the most favorite things I attended so far since the last time we were together was the unified basketball game at Fort Myers High. It was so awesome. The entire student body was in the gym. And as they call out the students, I highly encourage you guys to go to this. I know every school that participates in this that's just the one I was invited to. And they turn all the lights off and all the kids show their flashlights and they call them out, and it's like they're really at the March Madness calling them out to the center of the court. So it was a feel good Friday, let's put it that way. And it was really great because this whole student body was so into it. And I love activities like that. Today we did pass, the student bell schedule. I'm sorry, it's been a very long day, so I'm having a hard time thinking of all the words. So I just wanted to touch base with not necessarily about the new schedule, but making sure that we are doing our best as a district. And I know that you and staff are going to be on this with these schools that have drastic changes in their time, partnering with the families that will be partnering with all of our aftercare and before care organizations, helping out our teachers who may need extra care that they may not have needed prior to this change. I know this is going to be difficult. Change is hard. We've talked a lot about that, but I know that there's a reason behind this what, and we've got to try something. So just asking that we make sure that we're taking care of our students and families prior to and after, because we certainly don't want any more or any less supervision than there already is, and also partnering with our staff who may need to be helped there. So, and then last but not least, graduations are coming up. It's very touching to me this year having a senior, so I'm doing, is my oldest and he's a senior, so there's all kinds of firsts for me and lasts for him. But just something that I've started to kind of notice, we talk a lot about instructional time and utilizing every single minute of instructional time. And as we approach the end of the year, I'm just trying to say, let's not let our foot off the gas in the classroom. I know summer's coming, and I have a senior at home, so trust me when I tell you he's got senioritis. So, but just really, challenging even our juniors that are going to be seniors, using those last few days possibly to really prepare them for what it's going to look like the following year, and trying to get every second we can, every minute we can of instructional time up until it's time for those seniors to walk, which I'm looking forward to. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Langford Fleming. Mrs. Chaviano?
I'm going to try to make it quick. So visited some high schools. Obviously, I mentioned I attended the ad hoc Fort Myers Beach. Again, a very passionate community. I'm going to be touring the school next week. Thank you to the Veterans Park Wind Ensemble, and kind of echoing the heavy theme today of change, right? Like, change is, everyone has a different cycle of how they go through it and how fast they can get through that cycle. And depending on where you are in that cycle is how you are affected. And so I would say that our superintendent was elected for this position, right? Our community spoke and was very loud with that choice. And I have never been an administrator at the level to run this district, and won't even act like I fully understand it, right? And I know the decisions that were made and the recommendations that were brought forth were done with thought. I've texted late into the night to ask questions last minute when I've thought of them. So I know, again, it was done with thought. There wasn't anything that was done willy-nilly. So I would say that, change is hard, and it's trusting this board to do their job to make sure that that change is effective in moving our district forward and supporting our staff and supporting our students to be the best district. And we can't continue on the path that we've been and hoping that somehow that will change the trajectory that we've been going in, because the next one is 10th. And I don't know about last place, but I'm a very competitive person. I prefer to be first. And that's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to take change, and it's going to be hard. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I'm not saying I fully understand everyone's position in this, but I've been in organizations that have been reorged many times over. And it is scary more than anything. And I think it's fear of the unknown. And I ask that you pray, and you pray hard, because I have faith in our superintendent, what we're doing. So just thank you for that. Again, graduation's coming up, change for those seniors, change for those parents. There's a lot of things coming. So grace, I think, of understanding we're reachable. Our numbers have not changed. Our emails have not changed. We answer the emails that come. So please reach out, because we are here for you. We are here to listen and understand. And please understand that you may not see all the conversations that are happening up here, because there's a lot that happens behind that wall as well. So just thank you for tonight. It was a very long day, but I think everyone held strong. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Chaviano. I'm going to have a couple things. Sorry, Mrs. Langford Fleming. So I usually cut a couple minutes off this meeting, so I figure I'm good. So want to inform everyone, if they didn't see real quick, being on the board of directors for FSBA, the vice president will be resigning from that. So there'll be a board of director town hall discussing that. You may see some stuff in your email, but I'll happy to pass on what's going on with that. So we were able to visit, many of us for FSBA went up to Tallahassee. with FSBA days in the legislature. We also are able to talk to a lot of our representatives, senators, and key people up there, including special thanks as well to the time that Commissioner Diaz took with us. Thank you as well to Chief Newland that traveled up there and really talked about things like CLIA, safety and security, and being a leader in the state, so I appreciate that. Thank you to our government relations team for working on that. School visits, I was able to get out to Lehigh Acres Middle, Sunshine Elementary, Tortuga Preserve, Harns Marsh Elementary, Harns Marsh Middle. Bay Shore, I got sorted with Mr. Persons, so I'm House of Invicta, so apparently a lot of people get that one. They said it was a conspiracy, but Buckingham Exceptional Student Center, and I had to list these because I went out to Buckingham East Transportation Compound, and they said, please give us a shout out. So they are doing some amazing work out there. I appreciate them. I had a chance to get out with some people, including our Regional Associate Superintendent, Mr. Velarde, who went out to Mariner Middle to see their new kind of pilot JRTC leadership class that is actually works in conjunction with Mariner High School. They are doing a fantastic job of that over there, so we really got to take a look at that. So able to attend the Edison Awards, and we had some amazing winners in an AI contest, first and third out of Franklin Park. I can send some more, or excuse me, out of Dunbar High School. I just got Franklin Park in my mind for something else. So those students were amazing, and I'll pass on some more information from that. Another thing was amazing time. I was on the selection day for some of us who joined for Golden Apple. That was amazing. We're able to recognize some amazing teachers. Congratulations to Janet Bernard from Harns Marsh Middle, Paul Chilson from Pine Woods Elementary, Danielle Hopkins from Hancock Creek Elementary, Jamie Miller from Harns Marsh Middle, Kelly Olson from Edison Park, and Brittany Owen from Trafalgar Elementary. Congratulations, that was such an amazing day. So also had the opportunity with, I want to thank Marshall Bauer as well as Jarrett Eady. I went to the Young Men Leads Conference. Mr. Ribble was there, Mr. Persons. I was given the opportunity to speak to middle school and high school students. I actually have a little pin on here, thank you. So, and got to talk about leadership, and really amazing group of kids. Two things, one thing I talked about is making sure in leadership that you're really thanking and supporting your team. I want to appreciate all of you. I talked about Mr. Ribble and Mr. Persons there. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is not easy work up here. Like, for example, Ms. Jordan, I appreciate you really fighting for what you believe in for that. I truly mean that. Thank you for doing that. So the other thing I thought was interesting, I was thinking during my mind, this meeting today, a mentor once told me, learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I think this describes the job up here in many ways, and we have to make some hard decisions, even so we won't always agree. Everyone up here is in for doing what the best they can for these students. So I appreciate you all. Last but not least, two people I want to thank. I didn't have a chance because it got cut off. I would argue is one of our chief architects of our administrative efficiency right now, Dr. Ken Savage. Thank you. I didn't get a chance to thank you up there because you're running around. I know the work you and your staff put in this. Thank you. And as well for Superintendent Carlin. You've been in 4 months, I believe now, and the amount of work that you put in your team and the way you're elevating people, I just want to say I appreciate it. So now I will turn it over to Attorney Debris Bruno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually have something special this evening. I met a young man, and his dad said I could say his name partially and not violate FERPA, Alex C., who's a 6th grader, who is one of our exceptional students. And I got to meet him when he was participating in a special equestrian where they do training and disability type things with the horses. And so Alex has been waiting all night for me to give him a shout out. So I want to make sure I give a shout out to Alex, 6th grader. Dad knows who he is. And so have a good night, and now it's time to go to bed.
Carlin?
Yes, thank you, Chair Fisher. So first of all, just congratulations to all of our student winners tonight, wrestling, basketball champions, and to our arts students as well. Being a mom of 2 Division I athletes, I can tell you that while I was really lucky that they were very good students, you know, we want to always make sure that while we recognize the academics, we also want to recognize the whole child. And so just, it was nice to see some recognitions of what children are doing outside of the classroom. So just, that's very exciting. I also wanted to piggyback on what Mrs. Fleming talked about. Tonight, with your approval of the consent agenda, you have come to the rescue of 8,000 students who are late to school each and every day. You have also come to the rescue of 18,000 students each and every day that are picked up late from school and arrive late at home. So just from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of those students who are out there but not sitting out here, just thank you. Thank you very much for being child advocates. Appreciate that, because every minute of instruction counts. You have helped by that single decision tonight to help put us on the trajectory to improve student achievement, because guess what we did tonight? We increased the instructional minutes that children are availed to this evening. So thank you very much for that. I also want to piggyback on something Mr. Fisher said. You know, not every superintendent gets to have the outgoing superintendent as their deputy. And I just want to express a tremendous amount of appreciation for the time, the personal sacrifices that have been made over the last couple of months by our deputy superintendent, Dr. Ken Savage. So just on a very personal note, thank you to you and your family. I also want to recognize our cabinet, because they have been integral into making these changes, bringing them forward. And I just really appreciate not only your work on the organizational structure and the many hours you have dedicated to that, both online and after hours and on weekends, but also to all of the work that went into the Safe Start initiative. So just thank you for your innovation. Thank you for your willingness to step out of the box and to help us. And speaking of being proud, I am incredibly proud of this board. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye. It's okay, because what I know from each one of your hearts is that you are fighting for what's right. You could choose to do anything in this community. You could be commissioners, you could run for office in Tallahassee. There's 1,000,005 things you could choose to do, and you choose to serve children. And that is the most noble thing you can do. So just thank you. Thank you for pushing. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your advocacy, and thank you for your leadership. I am so proud to serve as your superintendent, as part of this governance team, because we are truly one team with one vision. So thank you. Oh, one more thing. Just want to wish everybody a very blessed Passover and a blessed Easter that is right around the corner. Just want to make sure that all of our staff members disconnect, turn that computer off for a day or two, and just please make sure you spend time with your family. Everybody is working so hard in our schools, at our central office, and elsewhere. Just thank you for what you do. Those are my comments.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Next scheduled meeting, Tuesday, May 6th, there will be a school board workshop at 1 p.m., followed by a school board action meeting at 6 p.m. At this point, having no other business to come before this body and seeing no objection, this meeting is adjourned. The time is 8:19 p.m. Have a good evening.